Remember, a Jedi can feel the Force flowing through him. I suggest you try it again, Luke. This time, let go your conscious self and act on instinct.
Confronting fear is the destiny of a Jedi.
The rebellion is reborn today. The war is just beginning, and I will not be the last Jedi.
Sit back, you're not going to want to miss this one because a lot of you have voted for this on my Instagram page. It is the Luke Skywalker Xenov3. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Collector's Outpost. I am John. So recently we did a review on a really great Luke lightsaber. This one was a little bit weathered. It looked really awesome. It was a little darkened, like it was tarnished over the years. And then the manufacturer discontinued this version and they gave us this, which was virtually the same exact thing. Just cleaner, still had darker metal, but it was, you could see the difference in the weathering. There basically is no weathering on this one. They just took all the weathering off. It's slightly tarnished around the thin neck parts, but they didn't leave all of this on. So when I was basically ready to review this, it was altered again. So this version actually had buttons here, and now they've moved it here, and these are lights, and basically was simply no longer relevant to even review because the manufacturing has changed. These were both from Vader Sabers, and I want to thank Vader Sabers for sending these over because I've been trying to stay on top of a lot of the new releases that are coming out for everybody. Now we are here. Hopefully it won't change anytime soon, so this video remains relevant for at least 3 months. For over 4 decades, I have basically been making saber sounds to Luke's lightsaber. So I've had, I've had those plastic ones. I think a lot of us had the plastic ones. Now I've got a collection of these Luke things. I even have this Disney one, which I do actually really like, besides when you put the blade in and this whole thing has to change out. The Disney one comes in somewhere around, I think with a blade and a stand and everything, somewhere in the 230-ish mark, something like that at the park. So if you go to the park, I actually got that at the Disney park. It came in the box. It was the lightsaber, it was the blade, and it was a stand. So looking over here at Vader Saber's website, this Xenov3 is less than double what the Disney cost is. Now, literally for $399, which is only $150 more at this point, you can have this lightsaber, the Xenov3 from Vader Sabers, that does 10 times more. Every color. There are 30 plus preloaded sound fonts in here. So you have a ton of characters to play with. You can change all the colors. You got special effects in there, flash on class and smooth swing. So I'll show you all of that. But literally for $150 more, you can have something that's 10 times more. But before we move on, so many of the viewers here are not subscribed to the channel, so please drop down, click the subscribe button, hit the like while you're down there, and hit on the notification button for upcoming videos. All of that will help the channel grow so much, and again, thank you to all the new viewers, and welcome back to everybody who's just here for some more lightsabers and figure stuff. So let's dig into this bad boy, because I know a lot of you have been waiting for this one. All right, so let's start with the Luke saber itself. It's a bit more chromy than I usually like lightsabers, especially for this one. But I'll be honest with you, it doesn't really bother me too much. For some reason, I thought this was going to be a lot more of a mirror finish. And it's actually not. It's kind of brushed. It's not as chrome plated as I thought it was going to be, which is actually really pleasant. At arm's reach over here, I do have Count Dooku's lightsaber. So this is a super polished chrome finish. So I don't know if it's going to come off really well here. Let's see if we can go like that. So you can see that the Luke is more of a, yeah, it is chrome, but it is more of a satin kind of finished chrome. All right, so let's see what else we have here in the case. All right, so we do have a second emitter piece. Now this one is more for display. Now, side by side, you'll see that this one here, that has a little bit more meat at the top, and I'm really grateful because thin necks are very hard with holding blades in there. The PCB is usually like right around here, and it gives you this tiny, tiny little piece of the blade to hold on to. So when you have this on there, even though it doesn't look screen accurate, it's adding that much, like an extra inch or so, to holding the blade in there, which is always welcome. But for display, they did give you a flatter piece. So let me show you that. All right. And then you have the more display emitter piece there. And then we've got a USB drive for your computer. We've got your typical blade plug. We've got USB charger. We do have a full manual to go through the settings. There's even all the information here on the Xenov3 app. We have the famous green Allen wrench here. We have a acrylic display stand. Then we have a little baggie here with another Allen wrench and a bunch of little backup screws. And of course, we have the Xenopixel blade. All right, let me show you where the chassis and battery charging is. We do have a fully removable chassis. It's not gold like a lot of the new ones I've been seeing. It does have the design factor to it, so it's still really nice looking. You have the typical 18650 battery, and up over here we have the USB charging. And over on the back we have the SD card. Now the really cool thing about this design over some of the other ones, you don't have to put it in any specific direction. So the battery doesn't have to face up or down. You just plop it in and the pins just connect with a PCB on the other end. Now we also have 3 retention screws, which is also going to be fantastic for holding this thing in a little bit more. We actually have fully working lights on this one, and they got the power button over here on the black switch. So since this is a Xenov3, I'm only going to show you a few things standing up, such as swinging and how it sounds like that, and then we're going to go through the rest of the settings on the app. Because I've done maybe 65 or something, or 60 videos, or 55, I don't know, I don't remember. So many in the past year, of the Xenov2, and basically everything as far as settings are the exact same. So I want to show you more of the Xenov3 app because it's just a lot easier and it's a lot faster to zip through the app rather than sitting here trying to count, and you know, it's a little ridiculous. So I'm just going to show you a couple of basic things on here, such as the volume right here. You're just going to hold this button for 1 count. And then you'll actually see the lights blink, so that's great. It will make all of the counting and flipping through the menu manually with the hilt itself so much easier. The app will allow you to bang through it really quick though. So we have 3 volume settings. It's high, low, and mute. All right, so we're looking at 1 flash.
Volume low. Mute.
All right.
Volume high.
Now I'm gonna put this in volume low because I also don't really love the sound that comes out of here when it's really loud. I do prefer the lower volume. So I'm gonna put that in low.
Volume low.
So you could see it's still quite loud. You know, it doesn't need to be overbearing or anything. For me, this is just perfect. Now you can switch the blade styles and you can switch the ignitions and everything right here. So let's look at 2 flashes.
Unstable.
All right. So 2 flashes are the blade styles. Let's go to 3 flashes. 1, 2, 3.
Broken ignition.
All right, so this one is the different ignition styles. Right, and you got a bunch of different ones. And then flipping through the sound fonts, you can also do on here 2 different ways. So one way is going to be 4 flashes. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The teacher.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The second.
All right, and if you want to go backwards in fonts, that'll go forwards. If you want to go backwards, you hold it upside down, and you're going to flip left.
The teacher. Whispers of power.
Then we have gesture controls on and off, so twist on. And we have twist off. And then we do have smooth swing with accent swings in there too. So it's really nice that the Xeno has accent swings. It'll sound a lot more like a Profi. So if you download sound fonts that have accent swings, it's going to give you a much nicer sound and a much nicer feel. So here's actually a really perfect one of some accent swings. So we've got the beautiful smooth swing here. And then listen to how the sound will change when you swing it faster. So you're really getting that swish sound coming in there. So you can hear all of the really nice variations in the swing on that one too. I felt it only proper to review a Luke lightsaber and drink from a Darth Vader cup. So the saber has all the typicals like flash on clash, we have lockup, blaster blocks, we have force effects and all that stuff, but let's look at all of this stuff on the app because it's a lot easier and a lot quicker. So let's open up the app. It's called the Xeno configurator. Connect to your saber, confirm,
App connected.
and we're connected. So here's the front page of the app, and you'll notice everything from your battery power to adjusting the volume, fonts, you have so much right here, right in front of you, and you've got a few pages of it. So right on the top, we've got the battery power. Then we have the adjust volume, which is going to give you so many increments of volume besides the 3 that are on the Saber. The Saber had high, low, and mute. This has everything in the middle. So you can go from 100% to 95 to 90, 81, whatever it is that you want.
Level 50%. Volume level 36%.
So I usually, again, I like to leave it somewhere
Volume level 50%.
around 50. I just think the Xenov3 sounds a lot better at about half the volume. Right here on the tippy top, we do have the power on and off. And you can hear, even at 50%, that's still pretty loud. All right, over here we've got the font select. So this one has 34 fonts on it.
The chosen.
So let's flip through a few. The animations also on the Xenov3 have gotten better. This has a little bit of a white sparky thing over here, and it has a nice fluttering flame kind of fiery blade. So that's about half the fonts. There are 34 of them. I'm not going to go through every one of them, but there's some really great fonts in here. Now, the first thing I want to do when I am messing around with blades and settings and everything, I want to adjust my hilt for the blade size here. Okay, so in the second tab, it's the first thing right here, main blade length. All right, so we're going to want to flip this on. Go into the blade length, and what you're going to see is the tip change once you start adjusting it. So let's go about halfway, and you'll see it's going down. So we want to adjust it so that it hits the tip here. We don't want to go past it because then the effects and everything won't look right. I forget what size blade this is. I think this is a 32-inch, so that might be like around 115, something like that. What if I go one more? All right, that works. 119, that's fine. All right, let's go back to page 1. So we have lockup effects right there in the middle. We have blaster effects. Tip drag, which might be very hard to see on the blue. So I'll show you on a different color. Flash on clash. So let me change the color really quick so I can show you the tip drag. It usually shows up really well on red. So let's go to quick right there. All right. And tip drag. So you see the whole tip lights up a white now. So under the effects here, we do have the color palettes. So you could just click and you'll have real-time reaction to everything that you click. So if you want reds, you can go up in the corner there, greens. All right, then you have a couple of different versions of your color palette down here. Infinite color is basically just gonna fade through the colors. Quick color is basically just gonna hit all the primary colors, like the solid greens, and it's not gonna fade through anything. So it'll hit the greens, the blues, the different tones between them. We do have different ignition styles and effects. So right here we go into setting light effects. So the hum is basically the blade style.
Fire blade. Steady. Unstable. Rainbow blade. Candy blade. Cracked blade. Pulse.
Pulse is my favorite pretty much for any blade.
Flash blade.
All right, let's go back to Pulse.
Pulse.
So you can kind of get in there and kind of design your own effects and styles here to what you like the most. And then I think everything else here is really self-explanatory. It's pull and push on. We do have different pages here, twist on, twist off. You could turn those on, turn those off, and how sensitive it is. And then you have swing on and sensitivity for that. All right, so that is a look at the Luke Skywalker Xenov3 from Vader Sabers. Thank you again to Vader Sabers for sending this over. I'll put a direct link and a discount code down in the description for you. So let me know what you all think about the Luke Skywalker Xenov3 here down in the comments. And while you're down there, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification button for upcoming videos. I will see you all in the next video. Be safe and kind out there in the world.